So I was just gonna go off of what we kind of discussed. Does that
Sounds good.
work for you? Okay,
Works
cool,
good. Yeah.
awesome. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so
Thank you.
much for taking
Yeah.
the time.
I
And
appreciate it. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely, yeah. So, you know, not a lot of people don't know really about ketamine treatments, and
hmm
so what was it that first made you interested in ketamine as a treatment for yourself?
Well, trauma, you know, and the alcohol addiction, the PTSD was terrible,
Mm-hmm.
and it was stacking in a way on in my life that made me non-functioning.
Mm.
And Sari, I have a great doctor,
An amazing provider.
and yeah, she's wonderful, and she kind of mentioned it very
Mm-hmm.
gently.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched that show on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, the How to Change Your Mind. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and then I we went full bore
Yeah.
and contacted you, got a hold of Sari.
Yeah.
Sari was the one who told us about you, and
Yeah.
turned
Good.
out great.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came up here, man, for sure. So what made you decide with the treatments at our clinic in particular?
Sari.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I trust her,
Sure.
and she was right,
Hmm.
and it turned out to be an amazing experience
Good.
overall.
Excellent.
Something uh, I kind of hoped for, but
Hmm.
didn't expect to this extent.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We always like to be used as a catalyst for change and approach with cautious optimism.
right.
And
Yeah,
I think you did an
exactly.
amazing job with
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
How was your first experience?
The first experience was great. I was a mess, like we discussed,
Mm-hmm.
and I held on with both hands to that trust the process thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that was my first intention, basically.
Yeah.
And it was, and it really got me through the fear that I
Mm-hmm.
had in the beginning of
Mm.
doing it,
Right.
because I didn't know what to expect and I didn't need anything else
Right.
screwing with me. So,
Right.
it turned out to be an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, the experience of ketamine itself
Mm-hmm.
is great.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
You
Good.
know, it's fun,
Yeah.
but I would do it if it was painful,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not the actual treatment that I discovered. The
Mm-hmm.
treatment that's fun that we're talking about
Yeah.
um, is great,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all the stuff that happens afterwards, the days
Right.
that follow,
Yeah.
and then I always questioned the 6 treatments,
Mm-hmm.
and I know now why it's important. And so, but it's been what, 3 or 4 months for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
still every
Yeah.
day something new pops up,
Yeah.
that I can that I
Processing
can deal
through.
with or choose not to deal with at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You've done such an amazing work for yourself, and that's
yeah,
so
it's working. It's working,
yeah.
and I know that some people uh, that I've talked to haven't had quite as an amazing experience as I have.
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of cases, if you've ever dealt with anybody that's done, I'm guilty of this.
Mm-hmm.
If you've dealt with somebody with on antidepressants,
Mm-hmm.
um, even though you can see a difference, you
Mm-hmm.
personally,
Right.
I'll tell you it's not working.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've noticed that, like with my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
she's gone completely the other side with the pain management part of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but she's a different person now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I know it's so cool
complete.
when you can see.
Yeah, I can see it, but I'm not going to tell her that because she'll tell me it's not happening.
Right. Yeah, we're all our own
So, but
worst
I can
critics.
definitely see we had the greatest conversation on the way up here.
Oh,
It
cool,
was great.
man.
Yeah, it
I
was
love
really neat.
that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really neat.
I get the chills, man.
One that we
It's so
haven't,
good.
conversation that I'd hoped for. Yeah,
Yeah,
for a long
yeah.
time.
Oh,
So,
cool. Oh, good. Oh, I love those types
oh,
of
I'm
breakthroughs.
getting off topic.
No,
Sorry.
you're totally good. Yeah, your experience is, what we're trying to capture,
Yeah.
and you
Mhm.
having that ability to share so openly, so powerful. What was your overall experience like? The whole, clinic, the 6 infusions, your booster, all
The
everything for you.
I'm gonna be real honest.
Mm-hmm.
There were times when I just went, I think I'm done. Because it, for someone like me that's addicted to everything, can get addicted. I can get addicted to Coke. I can get chocolate. I can get addicted to
Sure.
everything.
Yeah.
It scared me a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care about it. I don't. You might have had. I don't care about the treatments. It's not something I long for or care for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was seeing such positive results
Mm-hmm.
that I went, okay, and it would spur on excitement. Let's see what happens next,
Mm.
and let's see where this takes me next time.
Gotcha.
And but I don't crave it. I don't think about it in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that it's a wonderful feeling. We all need safety nets,
Right.
knowing that safety net is here.
Yeah.
So if in 6 months or a year I can come back in and say, "Hey, Casey, I'm starting to have a little bit of a relapse or something,"
Sure.
and
Yeah.
we can work on it that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
and or I can call and
Right.
we
Right.
can talk about
Yeah.
it or
Like I
whatever.
said, my
So
guidance
yeah,
is always, we
yeah,
go through all those augmentation
right,
strategies, and when you're starting feeling that backslide, which a lot of people do, again, because it stinks out there, then we double down on those augmentation strategies and make an appointment with us 1 to 2 weeks out. And then if those augmentation strategies pull you out,
mm-hmm.
awesome. Call me cancel. I don't want to see if I don't have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is nice to have that safety net in
Yeah,
place. Exactly.
I might have gone with the booster a little too soon, I
Mm-hmm.
think,
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
because, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy I did it,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure that it was necessary at that point.
Right.
But physiologically more about what's going on, so
Yeah.
maybe you understand it better than I do.
Yeah,
So,
like I said, the
mm,
science of habit creation is in human beings and habit breaking, and
mhm,
so hence neurological pathway
right,
reprogramming, right? 18 to 80 days in humans, and so when we do that series of 6 plus the 1 month booster, we're
mhm,
getting at least that 80 plus days of really neuroplasticity.
right,
So the feeling good can be safe and
mhm,
continue to feel safe, and so that's why we do that. But yeah, there's still always evolving evidence that some people need to see us back every couple of weeks. Some people don't need to see us again ever,
right.
and so it's cool.
Yeah, I'm
What are
happy
some
I
of
did it. I'm
yeah,
happy I did it. Yeah.
good, yeah, and I've definitely got that benefit or that from you, that
Mhm.
feel, and it makes me happy. What are some of the lasting benefits that you've noticed personally?
Um, Common sense, honesty.
Mm.
Honesty seems just so light,
Mm-hmm.
and it always seems like the perfect direction to go.
Mm.
Things that I was embarrassed of, like alcohol abuse,
Mm-hmm.
I understand where that came from,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm not embarrassed of it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, honesty just is just, and the ability to understand what the world is really like
Mm.
is a huge benefit, because I always made the situation or the world the way I wanted it to be.
Mm.
And that's also damaging. It's kind of like staying in a bad marriage.
Mm.
You stay in it because it's familiar,
Mm-hmm.
and you've created this thing, even if it's not good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard to let it go. And
Right.
so that was a little difficult for me in the beginning, was letting that, was being able to look out and go, oh, that's not quite as nice as I thought it was.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, no, creating that
It's like
reality.
watching an old movie. You watch an old movie from a kid and you go, oh, this doesn't hold up. This wasn't as
Yeah.
good as I thought it was.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you think would be beneficial for people to know who may be thinking about going forward with ketamine treatments for themselves or a loved one?
Yeah, the thing that, from talking to people, one of the things I've noticed is that the treatments are great, like we've discussed, they're fun,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the aftermath, it's what happens afterwards.
Right.
It's the work that you do
Mm-hmm.
to understand, oh, this is my own bullshit. This is
Mm-hmm.
not, sorry.
Yeah, no, totally good.
This is my own bull. This is
Like for
not
real.
my, this is, and you can squash that down. It's real simple now. It's
Mm-hmm.
really easy to to put a name to feelings.
Mm-hmm.
With, like, I have what I call now my licorice feeling.
Oh, okay.
and it holds no power anymore because I've given it a funny name.
Oh, I like that.
So there's those types of things that that have
Uh-huh.
lasted, and I've really found the world is
Mm-hmm.
not getting ketamine.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one getting ketamine.
Right.
You're the one that needs to change, not the world.
Oh, I like
And
that a
that
lot.
was something that, believe it or not, and I I didn't understand that in the beginning. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have that, and a couple other people I've talked to had kind of the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all of us so far, after our third experience, have kind of had an emotional reaction. I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
My friend lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Family members afterwards
Mm-hmm.
had a momentary, like a 2 hour period, where we were just the all of the stuff that was coming in was just too much,
Mm-hmm.
and you just break down.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a clearing. It was
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
was an
Cathartic.
emotional clearing,
Yeah.
and it really helped.
I love
So I'm
that.
really happy that that happened.
Yeah.
But if people don't expect it,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It can be a surprise kind of broadside. Yeah.
yeah. But the ketamine treatments are great, but it's all that amazing stuff that happens afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, understanding the lies that we tell ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
the negative self-talk
Yeah. More
that
almost
comes into our
criticism.
minds. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and instead of I can't do that, I look
Mm-hmm.
at it and go, hey, I'm going to go for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if I don't, even if it's not good,
Mm-hmm.
even if it doesn't turn out the way I expect it to,
Mm-hmm.
it's fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, a really important thing that I learned from some of the literature that you had me look at
Mm-hmm.
was that I got, well, one of the main things: check in with yourself
Mm-hmm.
before you check in with the world. That was
Mm-hmm.
another thing that I do every morning. That's a mantra when I
Ah,
wake up in the morning.
yeah.
I don't reach for my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't look at my phone till noon,
Nice. Yeah.
unless I think there's a text or something
Right.
important,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
or I'm expecting an email or something.
Yeah.
But I don't look at my phone anymore in the morning, where
Yeah.
before that was the first thing I did.
Right. Yeah. You're saying.
And just all of these little realizations that come in that
Mm-hmm.
just help you along, that you don't even know are going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Not picking up your phone in the morning
Right.
is a
Yeah.
huge thing. I enjoy my coffee and our conversations in the morning so
Oh,
much better.
yeah. I love
So,
that. The honesty. And
anyway,
like you said, no, that was great, man. I really
yeah.
appreciate you.
So
Is there anything else you'd like to add, George, before we close out?
no, you have any other questions or anything?
I mean,
Yeah.
no, I think we kind of hit on everything.
It's
Everything else?
been, for me, one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Mm,
Um, I hope that if people go into this, they understand that their experience may not be mine.
right.
Their trauma might be not be as good as, might be
Yeah,
as
for
difficult
sure.
as mine. It might be worse.
Right.
If I were to say what my trauma or what my PTSD was, people may say, well, that's not that bad.
Mm.
But those things stack.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the alcohol because you're trying to get rid,
Right. Self
and then you got
medicate. Yeah.
the work, and then
Mm-hmm.
you got the, you know, and then everything stacks up. And
Yeah.
then the next thing you know, you're unemployable, you're a non-functioning individual,
Yeah.
brushing your teeth is difficult,
Right. Getting out of bed.
getting out of
Yeah.
bed.
Mm-hmm.
And so uh, I hope that if people are having these types of issues, that they
Mm-hmm.
get relief from it
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
And this is amazing.
Oh,
Why
well,
this is just now coming.
right.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you can
No.
edit all this.
Yeah. No, it's all good, man. I appreciate you so much.
Mhm.
Well, thanks so much, George. Thanks for taking the time, man.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Casey.
Yeah. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
you.
much.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are great.
Definitely. All right. Cool.